the filmmaker Suhas Premkumar. Excellent work he's doing. We have told him we'll keep getting him back to Goa again and again, taking him across to schools, colleges.
So we used very low intensity lights, and also we used high ISO performing cameras. We used Sony A7S3, and we shot at 12,800 ISO. That gives you a good result without any noise. Also, we used a Panasonic Lumix GH5S. It's a great camera for low light. So, and also one of the good things which probably I cultivated myself is that I'm a naturalist. So it was easy for us to understand the behavior of the frogs and when are they doing what. Location is a top secret, you cannot tell it. So the location is Western Ghats. Majority of the places around Sharavati area, Sharavati, Jog Falls area, Yellapur, and Kudremukh Peak. It is one frog found only on the peak of Kudremukh in the whole world. That is indigo bush frog. And Resplendent frog was shot in Munnar. Everything was done with the permission of Forest Department of Karnataka and Kerala. So.
Does somebody guide you that near the frog?
Yeah, it was Suhas Premkumar was guiding me. I'm a naturalist, I guided myself. Apart from this, we consulted frog researchers from Karnataka. Guraja KV, Dr. Guraja KV, he has been phenomenal in terms of helping. Also, I've been following his work, he's a good friend of mine. And whenever we used to get into a hurdle, getting, in terms of not getting proper, sequences and proper, acts what frogs have done here. So he always helped us, and also helped us with the technical, numbers in terms of, maybe the time to go and time which we should not be there in the field and things like that. So he's been a great support throughout the journey.
Timing is perfect for this.
Yes.
Find it at the right spot in the right area.
Because I am well versed with the locations where the film was shot. So I belong to a place called Shikaripur, which is a small town near Jog Falls in Karnataka. So I'm a naturalist, so I keep taking people on outdoor trainings, and I train people in wildlife and photography. I teach them photography, I teach them wildlife. I also train some forest department personnel in Karnataka. So that has helped me to understand the behavior and understand the locations of where these frogs are found. And surprisingly, majority of the film, 95% of the film has been shot in human habitats. Because most of the frogs, once you get out of your house, the fences what you have, they're all active there. And the reason to make this film was that, because if a tiger comes to you in front of your house, everybody notices that. But frogs which live there every day and night, nobody knows that. So we want to create that sensationalism on frogs so that people not ignore them anymore.
I have a question.
Sure.
Film is wonderful, no doubt about it.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm not asking just to criticize or something, just
Absolutely.
trying to understand. This marriage of frogs, it is a traditional thing, but some time back we saw something on social media, hyped marriage, commercialized marriage. So somewhere superstition touching the actual reality of environment. So how you see it? Would it not touch that superstition part of it? It happens and then the rain starts. You say it, grown-up person understands. Kids may grow up saying that it happened because of the marriage. Just somewhere rationalize.
Wonderful. Great question, sir. Thank you so much for that. And basically, I am a person who grew up, if my mom used to say, don't cut your nails in the evening, I used to ask why. I have grown up questioning everything. She used to ask me, don't enter the house if you have cut your hair. I used to ask why. So I have grown up asking questions, and until we ask questions, until we get answer, nothing can be learned. So the frog marriage is actually, of course it is superstitious, of course it has come from a lot of generations, and it has spread across India. The reason why it is also holding a good, a good place in conservation is that if people have
that kind of, they relate to that.
Yeah, not just relating it to the marriage, it's also about if they have to get frogs married, if they have to find frogs first. And where will they find the frogs? That is connected to the lakes and water sources in the town, in the village, and the resort is connected. If people don't take care of their lakes and ponds and rivers in their houses, or in their area, in their villages and towns, they'll have to go very far to find frogs. So humans are so selfish that they will not try to go to a very long distance to go find a frog. They want frogs to be there next door. So they will automatically start taking care of their water sources in and around their villages and areas. And once it so happened, maybe a few years back, there was this marriage happening somewhere in Karnataka, coastal Karnataka. They got both frogs married, and it started raining. surprisingly, coincidentally, it started raining. It started raining very, very well. It started pouring so bad, it turned to floods. And I was making fun that it's a fact when I saw the photos, what frogs they had caught, both were males. Both were males. Maybe if they would have got one male and female and they got married, then things would have been normal. So just to be on the later side. But some cultural aspects of it, because frogs. So basically, what I believe strongly, coming from the foothills of Western Ghats, that everything, every wildlife, every animal has its own importance to play, except humans. There's one book called The Sapiens. I don't know how many of you have read that. The book starts with one statement saying that humans with no significance at all. So we are here to just use whatever is there, but not to give or contribute anything back to nature. But it's not the same with other animals. Starting from mosquito till tiger, everything gives back to nature, but we just take. So every superstition, so-called superstition, what we have made, it will somewhere tell people, if you don't do that, they'll be safe.
No, you made a very right point. What we should not forget is to discuss these things.
Absolutely.
You give it, you give the rational point behind it, like you said, sourcing.
Yeah.
Sources where it is available. So discuss this.
Yes.
So we should not hesitate to discuss. Just don't promote it. That is
Absolutely.
the point.
Absolutely.
And second point is, once your film comes out in a big way, reaches out, it should be subtitle should be in regional language.
Yes, we have plans for that.
That reach out is
Absolutely, sir. I totally respect your opinion, and also that's what we're working on, because we spent 10 years on this film. I had a lot of hair when I started this film, and now this is what it is. So we've spent so much of time and so much of money. We've spent everything, my wife's, mine, everything has gone into the film. We don't have any funding person or producer for this film. It was self-funded. So we also have plans of making this film reach every house in Western Ghats. I don't want to show it to people in Bangalore and Mysore and other cities because they hardly care. Local people are the ones who are supposed to be empowered because they are the ones who are the guardians of their nature. In that language. So we plan to dub this in all possible local languages and try to make it reach a lot of people so that the purpose of this film will be met.
Many of our things remain in Republic of English, and we feel we have reached out.
Yeah,
But
very
if
true.
you see the kind of country we have,
Correct.
we have to reach out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So will you reveal how much it cost you to make this film? It is awesome.
So the amount I spent was awesome as well. We couldn't count because I got scared when the film started continuing for more than 5-6 years, and KGF came, KGF 2 came, and Kantara came, Kantara 1 came, and then Toxic is coming. So this was kind of going on and on and on. And the reason, again, I will tell you, shamelessly, I'm answering another question which is not asked. Why it took so much of time is that most of the activity of frogs happens during the onset of monsoon, which is from May end till June end. That's all. And post this duration, most of the frogs, they just sit there, keep calling, and keep feeding, and keep safeguarding themselves. The mating behavior and the combat and everything will not happen. And especially the bullfrogs, I'm sure you might have seen here in Goa, it's pretty common here. We waited for almost 5 years to get that particular sequence, and we wanted it to happen in the daytime. Because nighttime, you put an artificial light, and the yellow, what it actually looks like, it doesn't look that yellow in the artificial light. And also, that time it was, the smuggling was happening from the Uttara Kannada district towards a lot of restaurants in Goa. They were eating bullfrogs' legs, as it was called as the jumping chicken. I don't know. I feel sad for humans that we have so many things to eat. We have fish, we have whatnot. But leaving everything we have, we want to go and pick up a frog, and it is done very brutally. They take a bullfrog, they chop off the hind limbs, and leave the frog to just be there. It will die out of cardiac arrest and loss of blood. It's very inhumane. And we call ourselves as so-called humans, and this is what we do. And we can eat chicken, make it however you want it. If vegetarians don't mind, you can eat out potato. So most of the things, they taste same. So now it is being stopped. A lot of local Goan people, they help this movement, and Forest Department of Goa and Karnataka, they did, and there will be checkposts put even in Goa-Karnataka border, even in the monsoon, even today. So this, the activity which happens is for a very limited time, and we couldn't fund the whole trip, and we couldn't get people, we couldn't get cameras, a lot of rain, a lot of stuff. So that is why it got delayed for 9 years.
filmmaking itself must be a big game of test of patience, right? Because you have to get them. You can't make them do things.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yeah. If our characters knew how to act and they could listen to me, it would have finished in 1 year. And yeah, that you pointed rightly. It's not because again, whatever we have shown is something, and apart from this, we have much more footage which is still lying in my hard drive, which is not used because that wasn't going good to the story. So we have that.
Yeah.
What are the challenges did you encounter while making this beautiful film?
Thank you. The first challenge what we encountered was choosing this subject. Frogs. My close friends told me, who would watch frogs? They're like this. I said, I'll make people watch. Did anybody get bored here for a second?
Not at all.
You please tell me.
No, not at all.
Thank you. So when my friend told me that who would watch frogs, was they're like this, no, they're like that. I said I'll make them watch. So that was the first challenge. Choosing the subject was a big challenge. If the same film was made on tigers, guys, it would have got I don't know where. But as he said, who will watch frogs? So we are making people watch frogs now, and I'm glad people are loving it. We've done more than 35 to 40 screenings, and with pride, I tell you, not even one negative feedback we've got. So that is something which makes us very good. And I'm answering that once again. Thank you. Challenges. The first challenge was weather.
Time to ask. Just one.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this wonderful production, and I understand why it took you 10 years to do this. My question is not so much about the production, but about the protection of the frogs. Now, the question is, there's a whole ecosystem, and how are frogs necessary for the ecosystem? Just to understand that, so we see that we really need them. And what is it what is their function within the whole ecosystem?
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So the first thing is that frogs, amphibians, they're called as bioindicators. So what does bioindicator mean? So when if you want to understand the health of any location, if you find frogs in good number, frogs, moths, butterflies, snakes, if they are in good number, it means that the location of the play area is healthy, because it's a connection. So frogs, do you know how they breathe? Frogs breathe through their wet skin. They don't use their nostrils to breathe. And if there are any effluents, any pollutants in the environment, they absorb them through their skin. If they get irritated, if they feel it is not right, if there are a good number of toxins or any poison in the air, in the moisture, they start moving away from the place. So for instance, Bangalore had about 21 species of frogs 10 years back, 15 years back. Now we can find hardly 8 or 9. The reason being the intensity of pollution which is happening in terms of water and air. Frogs are very sensitive to them, and that's why they're called as bioindicators. If you find frogs in a place in a good number, it means the place is healthy. And also they control insect population. If frogs go extinct, researchers say that more than 3 months will not be able to live, and the food grains and what we're getting, all the food produce, it will not be in the same quantity what we're getting. So they are primary the animals which keep the ecology balanced. Even for a tiger to be in a forest happily, there should be frogs down there. So frogs are the basic strata of the whole ecology, where they check and they also tell about the health of a place, a stream, or a forest, or even a plantation for the matter. Ma'am, did I answer you? You got the answer?
Yes.
Thank you. Coming back to the risks, yeah. First thing was the funds. Second thing was battling the weather. Must be well versed with the Western Ghats. You are from Goa, so summer is pathetic and monsoon is also pathetic. So it's extreme temperatures, extreme weather, right? So we had to protect the only 2 cameras we had, because if something goes wrong with the camera, we had nobody to fund the camera again. So we had to be careful with that. I wouldn't call leeches and ticks and snakes and all the wildlife as a problem, because we are from the forest and we know what can be expected and we know how to tackle them. But sometimes when we shoot in some remote areas, if somebody used to come with 2 torches, we should get scared. I've seen leopard when we are shooting. I've seen a leopard, I've seen a civet cat, I've seen elephants pass by, but we've not got scared. But 2 people entering from that side is scary. It always happens with that. You can't trust people. You can't trust animals.
Sir, one more question. These frogs in the fields, okay, do they get affected by insecticides and pesticides?
Absolutely, sir. 100%. Because when we started filming in 2015, the number of frogs what we used to find in one location got deteriorated to so badly that the bullfrogs, when we filmed, when we saw first time we saw it in the night, second time we saw it in the night, there were 200, 300 of them. But later on, when we finished this, we missed one particular shot for which we had to wait for one more year because it got over in that season. Next year we came, the frogs number came surprisingly low to 40, 50. So if 6 to 8 years can make such difference, imagine what are we doing to know the place around us and know the natural habitats. So pesticides, definitely it is affecting the population, not just frogs, anything and everything which lives, survives on water, including us, it affects. But what we say is only the yield what we get, how many kilos, how many quintals in tons we get, and we don't see anything the other side.
One small question.
Yeah.
We sometimes see a frog. We sometimes see a frog entering our house and stays in one place for a long time. Even if you shoo it away, it will come back again and stay in the same place for days together. What is the reason for that?
It loves you so much. Because mostly it happens during non-monsoon season. So during the monsoon, frogs are happy, the air is moist, it has a lot of moisture, it can breathe well, it can go out, fend for itself, mate, reproduce, feed. But after monsoon, the environment, the weather is not favorable for them because if it is too hot, it will die out of dehydration. So what they do is they come and take a corner. It's a brown frog what you're talking about, right? It's a tree frog normally, and small bush frogs they come. So they come and take places where it is cool, where it is not very hot. It is like a syrup what you take, store in dark places away from sunlight. So they usually stay in a place where the direct sunlight doesn't fall there. So conserve the energy. So it's called summer sleeping. Summer when animals sleep is called estivation. When the animals sleep in winter is called hibernation. So some snakes, for example, garter snakes in the US, they sleep in the winter time. They come together to create temperature, but they cannot create temperature, so they take rest, conserve the energy. They also reduce their heartbeat, so that they'll just sit in a place and wait. If next time you see a frog, just remember one thing: it loves you. Don't throw it away. It will stay because for it to walk from here till there takes a lot of energy, which again it has to feed. So if it is sitting there, it will just sit there. It will not do anything to you.
How long does it take for a tadpole to grow into a frog? I mean, a frog to, yeah.
I got your question. So basically, the ones you saw here, if you're asking about the bullfrog, the big yellow frog, what you saw, for that, the moment eggs are laid, if it is fertilized well, it will take minutes for it to have the fission. It's called the cell division happens inside the egg, and then the tadpole starts growing. The tadpole, for it to come out of the egg, it will take some 6 to 7 days in case of bullfrog, and for the tadpole, for it to become a froglet, it will take 45 to 50 days, depending on the frog. Some frogs, it happens very fast, like the cute little frog which came out of the egg and it was looking at a small insect, that took about 15 to 18 days. So it depends on the frog species and depends on the size of the egg in the species. Yeah.
Yeah, so my grandmother, whenever I was young, she used to always say that the baby amalya to kimsa hatome. If you kill a frog, the insects will kind of eat you. So is it true that the insects that really bite us, they are eaten by the frogs, or these are separate insects that you were talking about?
Frogs eat anything and everything which moves in terms of the size. Bullfrog can eat another bullfrog. Bullfrog can eat snakes. I've seen bullfrogs eating a Russell viper. Right? So I've seen bullfrog eating a Malabar gliding frog. Sit down. And what your grandmother was telling is absolutely right. Maybe she was not a PhD scholar in biology, but still whatever she was telling was absolutely right, that if you kill frogs, so the insect population will not be controlled well. So any control of any population which is happening should happen naturally. So also in terms of, let's say, giving you an example, if you want to do conservation of tigers, you cannot get all the tigers and put it in the house and feed them every day and conserve. For that, you have to conserve the forest in which they live in. That's how they are protected. So in terms of the frogs, also in terms of, when you want to save frogs, you have to let the surrounding be good. Don't cut down the bushes, don't cut down the small plants, and also don't kill them, because In India, also to tell you everybody, there are no poisonous frogs in India which can kill us. There is absolutely absence of poisonous frogs in India. They're found in a different continent altogether. So your grandmother was right.
Suhas, question.
Yeah.
You've shown the first time the encounter between praying mantis and a frog. So how special was?
The mic, we cannot hear the questions at the back.
Oh, question.
And those who are from the back, people will not be. Please use.
So you have shown this encounter between the praying mantis and frog, and said like it's the first time that it has been captured on camera. So how special? How much effort has gone into it for that special shot?
You're asking the secrets of trade. So yeah, the first thing is that none of the frogs were touched. We didn't touch any frog because frogs are so sensitive that the moment it feels that there's an intruder in their, in the personal space, they will stop doing whatever they're doing. That also was one of the reasons why we took so much of time to, let them do what they're doing, and we had to be there. We had to be Mr. India, where we were not seen. Because frogs, they might not see color. I'm not very sure. They're probably the colorblind. And when this sequence happened, there's one particular tree, this thick tree, in the middle of a small, slow-flowing stream. We used to visit the place regularly to check what's happening, because job-night frog had laid the eggs. The female comes and lays the eggs and goes away. The male guards it. So the egg laying was already happened when we visited that location that particular night. And we thought, okay, let me just go upstream and check if there is any more frogs there and doing something. So when we went, the frog was right there, next to the egg clutch. And also what it does is, if the heat is too much, it goes down to the water, wets itself, and comes in, wets the whole the egg clutch. So that to retain the moisture, it does that. So when we went a little upstream and we came back, the frog was not there. The frog had jumped into the stream, and we thought it's gone maybe to feed or something, and we thought we'll walk. My team went a little ahead, and I thought, okay, something fishy. I just sat there, observed for 2-3 minutes. The mantis, which was on the other side of the tree, I didn't see that. It came this side, and the egg clutch was here. And I definitely saw something coming there. I thought we'll get a sequence of the mantis eating the eggs. I never expected that the whole story will have a twist, and suddenly this male came from nowhere and jumped onto the mantis, and it caught it and fell down. And the cameras were not ready. So just imagine, because nothing was scripted, right? So that's how we got it, and we had to somehow do some cut and here and there and match it to tell the story seamlessly. That's how it happened, and we extremely got lucky.
Amazing.